I saw somebody post a picture with Harry and Meghan together, and they had put Yoko Ono's face on over top of Meghan's, like as if she's, breaking up the royals, like Yoko Ono was accused of breaking up the band. I don't know. I really feel for her. I think that, I don't know. Would people be happier if they just split up at this point? Is Harry supposed to sit there and watch the love of his life, the mother of his child, be torn apart day in and day out? The paparazzi killed his mother. He doesn't want to see the same thing happen to his wife. I don't understand why this is such a hard concept to grasp. If you don't agree with it, that's fine. Why do you got to be so mean about it? Why is everybody got to be so mean? So judgmental. Their way or the highway? I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't get it. So I will move right along to my topic, which goes hand in hand with my blog post topic for the week, which is about discipline. Excuse me. Like I said, a little bit of a cold still left. So I wanted to hear from you. What is something that you wish you had the discipline to do every day? Predominantly, I'd say 90% is exercise, workout, get to the gym. Couple of different ones. Carolyn says walk both dogs individually. I usually just take them together, and there's a lot of good training I could do if they were separate. Maybe split the walk time in half. It's going to kind of maybe short them a little bit, but if they can benefit from the separate training, it's probably worth it to all involved. Martin says not to crave pizza. I just can't help it. Pizza doesn't have to be a bad thing. There is all kinds of healthy options when it comes to pizza, because pizza itself is not horrible. I mean, it's not great, but, it's not fried chicken. Maybe get it plain or get some mushrooms on it or, little light on the sauce. Or there is a way to eat pizza. They have all kinds of things now. They have whole wheat crust. They have cauliflower crusts. All kinds of things. Now, Corinne says, stay away from the sweets. Roxanne says, shut my mouth. Oh, my. Denise says, I don't know that this is a discipline thing, but to speak up. I am afraid to hurt someone. No, do not ever be afraid to speak up. You have every right to speak your mind. Don't be rude about it. Don't be judgmental about it, but get your point across. Diane says, stop eating pizzelles. I'm addicted. Aren't they a Christmas thing? Shouldn't they be almost gone by now, Diane? Michelle says, I have no discipline. Therefore, the list is very long. And Marcy says, pick up all the clutter. Yeah, that's a lot. I have portions of my house that are very cluttered. And the way to try and keep the clutter away is you need to just throw things out as you go. The kitchen table was one of my, still is, not as bad as it used to be, but, come in, drop the mail onto the kitchen table. Stop doing that. Go through the junk mail. Go through the mail. Have piles. Okay, these are bills. This is where this goes. This is important papers. Takes discipline. Michelle also says stop hitting the snooze alarm. I'm going to get into that quite a bit in my blog post. So there were some of your choices when it came to what you would like to have the discipline to do every day. I'm going to spend a lot of time on discipline this week because, it's a big deal. Discipline is tough. That's why I call it discipline. Seems almost like a nasty word. So if you check out my blog post at hopefulist.com, I put up a quote from Brendan Burchard, and he is my new obsession. I've been following him for a while now on Instagram, and I am now taking some of his courses. And gosh, he's so smart. Gosh, I love him. He really has teaching me. He's teaching me so much. And I just got some new courses unlocked for me this week, and they're so long. There's like 37 modules for just one of the 2 new ones I got this week. And I'm like, how am I supposed to have the time to do all this? But Brendan says, no one is going to stand up and hand you a plate of progress in life. You must make progress by your own sheer will, discipline, and efforts every day. Like I said, it seems like a dirty word, doesn't it? One we don't like at the very least. One we try to ignore. One that we often run away from. Why? Because it's hard. It's hard to be disciplined. It often means doing things we don't want to do or giving up things that we don't want to give up. But if we change our focus when it comes to the word, we might start to look at it differently. What if we start looking at what we will be, what we will have, getting once we are in the process of disciplining ourselves? Keep the focus on the end result at all times. Write out your end goal. How are you going to feel when you get this discipline down? How are you going to act when you get this discipline down? How is it going to change your life when you get this discipline down? Keep the focus on the end result. Read it, memorize it, visualize it. Visualize you having this discipline down and then make it happen. Because the thing with discipline is once we get it down, it becomes a habit. And it's so much easier to handle. One day, whatever you are trying to discipline yourself to do will be as automatic as brushing your teeth. Think about that. Do you enjoy brushing your teeth? Isn't it really kind of a pain in the butt? But you do it anyway, don't you? Because it's good for you. And everyone else, for that matter. You do it because it's necessary for your health and well-being. For your health. That's what any discipline can become. A habit that you do without thought. It's automatic. It is hard, though. That is why we dread it so much. We plan for it and then chicken out and don't do it. But once you do it, once you have it down, here's the thing. You won't ever be sorry. I've been talking to my sister about not hitting the snooze button anymore. I've talked to all of you about not hitting the snooze button anymore. It will be the single most productive thing you will ever do in your life. Hitting the snooze button is torture. It really is. Plus, you're putting yourself in a position to make major decisions first thing in the morning when you aren't even awake yet. Do I get up this time or do I hit it one more time? Not only that, you're lying to yourself. You're setting your alarm for, say, 6 a.m. because you want to get up at 6 a.m. First time you hit the snooze button, you're breaking that promise to yourself. But when you finally get to the point where you can't hit the snooze button one more time, do you get up and think, oh, well, at least I got to go back to sleep after hitting the snooze button the first 5 times? No, it's not what you're thinking. You're still dragging yourself out of bed, tired and miserable. So just do it the first time and save yourself the torture you were dragging out. My sister asked me how I kicked the habit. I was put in a position where I had no choice. My mom had got me an alarm clock because I had abused my snooze so much. I did it for 3 hours at a time. I was in school then. I could just miss class. I was missing class. My mom got me an alarm clock. It was loud. It was obnoxious. I wanted to shut that mother off as soon as possible. Made train noises. Was shaped like a train. It started out with the choo-choo noise of a train, the whistle. Did that for about 5 seconds, and then a voice came in. It said, "Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, wake up!" Totally loud and obnoxious. My goal was to shut that thing off before that voice started because I hated that voice. That was the point. It got me up. It got me out of bed every morning right on time. You could probably still get yourself something like this. Put yourself in a position where you can't hit the snooze if you truly can't break the habit. You can turn the snooze option off on your iPhone now. They didn't used to have that option, but I see it is an option now. Turn it off. You will likely only be late once before you remember that you can't turn it off anymore. My sister said that wouldn't help her because she would figure out a way to get another 10 minutes. Think of all of the productive things you could be doing in that 10 minutes rather than figuring out a way to get 10 more minutes, which is just waking you up. You're not getting quality sleep. These sleeps in between the snooze are not quality sleeps. When it comes to other types of discipline, you can either start small or you can be radical. Most people don't like radical, and that's fine. But, whichever way you choose, make sure it's something you can stick to. This is the other thing about discipline. Don't make promises to yourself you can't keep. You have to be able to count on the word you make to yourself, or you have no credibility, and you know it. Saying every week that Monday is the day you finally start hitting the gym is a joke if you never get there. You can't believe what's coming out of your own mouth. You're letting yourself down each and every time you say you are going to do something and don't. Would you be okay with making a lunch date with a friend and then because you were too comfortable on the couch, you just bail? You don't even tell them. You just bail. You're like, nah, I don't feel like getting up. Pretty unlikely that would happen. You are more committed to other people than you are to yourself. Doesn't that seem a little backwards? You are constantly disappointing yourself when you don't do the things you say you are going to. So, if you don't think you are really going to do it, then don't say you will. Stop letting yourself down. When it comes to my 30-day challenge, I decided to go radical. I made a decision to go no carbs, eat healthy, no cheat days, no alcohol for 30 days. I knew I'd be able to do it because I tell myself constantly I can do anything for 30 days. So far, still good. Day 12 now. Woo, woo! So proud of myself. There are a number of reasons I decided to go radical instead of baby steps when it comes to this. I have gotten into a horrible cycle of eating healthy during the week, but once Friday hit, it was like a free-for-all. I wanted to train myself to eat less, honestly. We all eat so much food, and I know we can all sustain ourselves on much less. Wanted to train my body to expect less food. I used to eat all day long. Banana in the morning, then some oatmeal an hour or so later, more fruit in another hour, then a granola bar. My body was used to being fed every couple of hours, so I was hungry again within an hour or two, whether I had a granola bar or a full-size breakfast. I wanted to train my body to go longer in between meals. It's working. I also have to stop abandoning my healthy eating plan every Friday, which is why I've been doing that for years. Slowly been creeping up with the weight as well. One of the main reasons I do that, Cocktail Friday, y'all. Drinking is a killer for my willpower. Not only are there a lot of calories in it, but I always end up wanting foods that aren't good for me. So eliminating alcohol for 30 days is essential for the rest of my challenge to work. It also proves that I don't have the problem that I sometimes worry I have when it comes to alcohol. So know your triggers. Alcohol is a trigger to my overeating and eating bad foods. I'm starting to go a little long here. I think I'm going to wait and go for finishing up the rest of this tomorrow because I'm trying not to go over 30 minutes. So if you think you can go radical, then go radical. If you don't think you can, do not try. Start with small steps that will get you closer to your ultimate goals. If it's exercise, just start with a walk. Do a little dancing in your living room. Anything that gets you moving starts to break out a little sweat. So it is Monday, my favorite day after Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's a brand new week full of possibilities and opportunities. Think about the ways you break promises to yourself and figure out how you have to stop doing that. Because you have to. You have to stop doing that. Now, go make today your best day yet.
Thank you for listening to The Hopefulist, hosted by Wendy McClure. For more inspiration, please visit Hopefulist.com. Thanks, and we'll see you tomorrow on The Hopefulist.
Come on, Ellen. I'm doing a 30-day challenge. I deserve a reward like being on your show.